Hello everyone, my name is Roya and I read a whopping 8 books in the first half of October. So the first one I'm going to talk to you about, and arguably the best read of the month, is Certain Dark Things by Silvia Moreno Garcia. This is about, it basically has kind of urban fantasy elements, but it's just not quite an urban fantasy. It's kind of also a fantasy at the same time. But anyway, we have Aztec vampires and just like a lot of really crazy stuff, and I really enjoyed reading this. My next best read of the month so far is Kelsey Murphy and the Hunt for the Heart of Danu by Erica Lewis. This is the second book in the Kelsey Murphy series. This is basically a series about, it kind of is like Percy Jackson but with Celtic folklore, and it's really, really awesome. I actually really liked this one even more than the first one because, I mean, I feel like we got a lot more uh, questions answered in this one, and it just made a lot more sense overall, and we had a lot more characters too, so it's kind of like the first one was almost felt like the author just messing around with the setting at first and everything, just kind of like seeing what worked and all that stuff, and now here we have, the whole setting is already fleshed out from the first book, so now we have, all the actual plot can like really thicken, and it's really awesome. Song for the Basilisk by Patricia A. McKillop. I really liked this one. It is not my favorite Patricia A. McKillop book. I think it's probably my least favorite one. I really expected more from this one, but I still really liked it. Shades of Milk and Honey and Glamour and Glass by Mary Robinette Kowal. This is the first and second book in the Glamorous Histories series. This is basically about it kind of has like Pride and Prejudice type of vibes, but there's magic involved and all of that, and magic in this world is kind of one of those things that proper ladies like to do in their free time. Like if they're not painting, they're doing magic, basically. And so the first book I really did not enjoy that much because it really felt like I was just reading Pride and Prejudice and there was just some magic in it. It really didn't seem like it was that interesting to me. The second one really did pick up. There was a lot more conflict there, and it was a lot more high stakes. There's like a kidnapping and just all this stuff, and it's really, really good. But I ultimately just don't think this series is for me. I think it really lagged, and it really took a long time to get into. Song of the Dead by Sarah Glenn Marsh. This is the second book in the Reign of the Fallen duology. I really did not enjoy this book. I felt like we didn't really need a sequel to the first book. I thought the first book literally already could have been the whole thing because this really did not tie up anything, any loose ends. It really didn't give us anything new. There was no conflict pretty much at all until the last fourth of the book. I was so bored for basically this entire book, and I literally just did not understand why I was reading this. So unfortunately, this one was a huge disappointment. And the first one was already more like a 3-star read. Like it was good and I liked it, but it wasn't anything super duper special. But this one really had absolutely nothing to it, and I was just really bummed. That's all. The Ivory Key by Akshaya Raman. This is a young adult fantasy about 4 siblings who are each trying to get this ivory key for different reasons. I felt like this whole book could have been so much better. Like the idea was there, but the execution was just like really lackluster, and we got no character depth, pretty much like barely a plot, nothing was explained, nothing made any sense, and there was absolutely no kind of profound statement at all being made. So it was literally just kind of like, okay, that was a book. Like there was nothing to this book, and that really bummed me out. Like there are even things where people kind of have to solve things, and none of it is anything that makes any sense. Like none of it is stuff that you can be like, oh duh, like that makes sense. Like no, there's nothing like that. And there's nothing important going on in this story at all. Like nothing that the reader can take away from it. Like I was really, really bummed. I was really looking forward to this, and unfortunately it just didn't do it for me. And finally, City of Blades by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is the second book in the City of Stairs trilogy, I think it is. I really like I really liked this one a lot more than the first one that I read last month. But ultimately, there's just nothing really drawing me into this series at all. Like, there's nothing bad that makes me go, no, the series is like not great or anything like that at all. It's literally just the complete lack of anything that keeps me reading it. Like, it was just meh. So I mean, ultimately, not a bad book, but just there was just nothing in it for me. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I had just a really sad, lackluster reading month. But that's okay. This next half of the month will hopefully be better. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!